We would watch the Tribal Chief and the Bloodline arrive on SmackDown at the very start of the show, as tonight we would find out the rules of engagement for Roman versus Jey. Paul Heyman was oddly jumpy tonight, but you would continue later on this super tense segment. Not a word was said. Solo was staring at Roman Reigns' lay. Roman would notice. Oh boy, the tension in the Bloodline right now is massive. You would see a very conflicted Jey Uso in the ring as Roman was making his entrance. You gotta wonder what was going through his mind. Well, Jey would rip up the contract, but it wasn't because he didn't want the match. It was because it's going to be tribal combat at Summerslam. And interestingly, Roman asked if the elders are aware of this. Jey said it was their idea. Bringing the elders into the story again. Notice though, when it was announced, it was basically anything goes. Solo's reaction was very conflicted. I think Solo is going to play a massive part in the end of the match at SummerSlam. Roman would then put the object that symbolises his dominance and leadership on top of the title, signifying everything's on the line. We would then get mutual respect from the family. Like, this is a really cool way to do it, man. Of course, it didn't last long, as the emotional Jey Uso would have to see off Solo Sikoa. Honestly, I am so excited for this match at SummerSlam. It's unbelievable. This is things you might have missed from Friday Night SmackDown. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. Bobby Lashley was once again backstage on SmackDown this week. Interestingly this week, talking to Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Now, if you remember, back in March, MVP tweeted out this picture with Carmelo, Omos, and of course, the Street Profits. Now, we did do a video at the time asking if this was kind of the new Hurt Business, or was MVP just trolling at the time? So we got to wonder now that we've seen Lashley interact with three of the men in this photo, and Trick Williams too. You got to wonder, could Omos be next? Could we be looking at, near enough, the new Hurt Business, or a new styled Hurt Business? Would be interesting. With United States champion Austin Theory sat ringside, not on commentary, Wade Barrett would say last week Michael Cole offended Theory so much he didn't want to rejoin them. The Fatal 4-Way kicked off Friday Night SmackDown on FS1, and it was Rey Mysterio the first man out. Gotta say, I love Rey Mysterio's gear this week. Very toyetic, which is ironic as WWE and Mattel just showcased loads of new WWE figures. You can look at the images on WWE.com, including, bottom left, an unmasked Rey Mysterio from WCW. Kind of cool. Once again this week, LA Knight got a huge ovation from the SmackDown audience. He would indeed cut a promo on his way to the ring. I think now they're sort of embracing him as getting the fans' positive reactions. You're probably going to see more of that, which I think is a really good thing. It would be Rey Mysterio who would win the Fatal 4-Way, however, and I don't know. Next week, it does lead to Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar, student versus teacher. That's basically the whole thing commentary made it out to be. But I agree with Twitter. I think this was LA Knight's time. Now, there's a lot of rumours about when that time is, and obviously WWE can't ruin everyone else's plans to push LA Knight, but you got to eventually, right? I did have to giggle at this though. Rey Mysterio trying to do the 10 beats. Sheamus even giggled as Rey Mysterio had to position himself on the bottom rope to be able to actually do the move. But yeah, Rey Mysterio wins. Let me know your thoughts, I can imagine, in the comments section down below. Earlier on today, WWE announced the triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam. And of course, you got Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair all challenging Asuka for the title belt. Well, Charlotte would take on Io Sky tonight, but during the match we had Bayley on commentary. Great to see Bayley doesn't seem seriously injured. When she tried to get involved, Shotzi would appear on the Titantron again, sort of taunting Bayley, mocking Bayley, haunting Bayley. I really like this. It does remind me a lot of what like Alexa Bliss used to do, just like without the supernatural element to it. Like Shotzi rightfully is angry and psychotic at what Bayley did to her. Bayley is therefore scared. You're getting the exact same results, and I think that's a really unique way to do it. Really liking how they're aiming this storyline. Charlotte would go on to defeat Io Sky, but it wouldn't be over there for Charlotte Flair, as Asuka would come out and attack Charlotte. Very surprised Bianca didn't make an appearance. Like, Asuka had the armbar in for a while. I kind of thought Bianca would be the next one out, but didn't happen. It wasn't over for Bayley, though, as her and Io would go back to the locker room after the match. Bayley would find her case all cut up with a picture of her, literally with a pair of scissors sticking out of her chest. Shotzi sending a clear message to Bayley. This is going to be a brutal feud, isn't it? After Santos Escobar got involved and attacked Austin Theory during that fatal four-way earlier in the night, Theory demanded a match with Escobar tonight. It was non-title, which was good for Theory because Santos Escobar won. Now, interestingly, next week it is Escobar versus Rey. You got to wonder with the momentum that Escobar picked up here, could he be the one to face Theory again in the future? I think that would make the most sense. And, to be fair, the booking of this got a pop from the audience. I was concerned they'd boo with the fact LA Knight's not in it, but they didn't. With SmackDown in Orlando, Florida this week, there was a lot of NXT talent on hand. Wesley and Dragon Lee and the Cavender twins were in the audience. Of course, you had Tony D'Angelo and Stax backstage, as well as Julius and Brutus, the Creed brothers. And of course, Carmelo Hayes, the NXT champion, and Trick Williams in the audience as well. As the NXT women's champion, Tiffany Stratton. Really cool to see her on SmackDown. And after his historic win on NXT on Tuesday, the brand new North American champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, was also on SmackDown, as well as Shawn Michaels, who would make the match official. Dominic Mysterio versus Butch tonight. Did you notice Shawn Michaels very nearly called him Pete Dunne? And I don't know what Shawn was thinking, because poor Dominic Mysterio, I've heard rumours that he really did need his fingers for later on tonight. Nonetheless, WWE did show us the injury to Elton Prince last week, spotlighting it. Now, mad respect for the fact he finished that tag match last week on SmackDown. Ridge Holland would come out as an equaliser for Rhea Ripley, though, which would bring out Pretty Deadly with Elton Prince in a wheelchair. And people boo Dominic Mysterio all the time, but I've never seen Dominic Mysterio intimidate a man in a wheelchair. But, I mean, he did take off pretty quickly. I did think that was funny. Rhea Ripley would then get involved in the match, allowing Dominic Mysterio to beat Butch and retain the North American Championship. Now, we haven't spoken about this on the channel yet, so feel free, go off in the comment section. What do you think of Dominic Mysterio being the WWE NXT North American Champion? We found out some matches for next week. Obviously, Rey and Escobar in the United States Championship Tournament Finals. And of course, Karrion Kross versus Carl Anderson. I actually think this is going to be a good match. Obviously, it makes sense with Kross attacking the OC the other week. So looking forward to that next week. I feel like we got a lot this week, especially that Bloodline segment. For me, 8 out of 10 seems very fair. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Once again, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications, you'll never miss another upload. Like the video, share the video, and I'll catch you as always next time. Peace!